Boom! We are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Nolan Hawkeye Anthony YouTube channel. And I thank all of you for being here, wherever you may be. And of course, however you may be listening. So the draft has been underway. I don't know officially which round we're in. I'm recording this as of Saturday morning. And I just wanted to give a quick retract or overview of who has been drafted from the Big Ten, specifically from the Iowa Hawkeyes. And so let's start with the Iowa Hawkeyes. I don't think that they could have had a better result than what we saw over the past couple of days. And furthermore, and I said this in my Facebook post, after seeing ultimately where these Iowa Hawkeyes have been drafted, now, obviously, they still have to play in the NFL. You never know if they might be a bust or not. I think the success rate for Iowa players in the NFL is pretty high, but you never know. But just looking at it from where the players were drafted, 8 wins last year was not enough for the Iowa Hawkeyes. It just was not. Anytime you have two individuals on your team that are first round talents, you should be better than eight wins. Anytime you have 3 players that are in the top 100 picks, you should be better than 8 wins. So let me share my screen here and we will officially go over who was drafted. By the way, guys, I said this in my Facebook post. Did you guys see the double tap? Lucas Van Ness's video could not have been funnier. Man, they need to have some coaching or tutorials on how to properly handle a draft night. You have Van Ness. Now, I think this was awesome, but this is not necessarily the aspect that needs to be coached. But what happens is, especially when they are at home and they're celebrating at home, what happens is all the people around are not the friends, the families, the girlfriends. They are not used to the commotion that a guy like Lucas Van Ness is used to. And so when it happens, they just are not as battle tested in dealing with this type of emotion, this type of atmosphere. And so they freak out, they jump all over Van Ness and the player that's been drafted. In other words, they pretty much are just rushed with a plethora of emotions and just don't really know how to deal with it. So anyways, Lucas Van Ness literally gives his girlfriend comes in for a kiss and he gives hold on while he's on the phone, and she goes in and has to back away. I saw on the New York Post some tweets that they grabbed asking if Lucas Van Ness has 3 girlfriends. He's already alluding to Van Ness already being an NFL veteran for having 3 girlfriends like that. Now, I think that one of them was his mom, and if that's the case, his mom looks excellent for her age. And one is his sister. But and one is the girlfriend, but I don't know for sure. It would not shock me if more than one was a lady interest of his. I mean, you guys got to understand, these NFL players are the top 1% of, for lack of a better term, attraction that there is. I mean, Van Ness is 6'5", which less than 10, I believe it's less than 15% of the population is above 6 feet. So he's already top 1% height. He's jacked. He's huge. He's college educated. He's a Division I football player. Now he's about to make millions of dollars. I believe it's less than 10% of the population makes over $100,000 a year. Or excuse me, less than 10% of men in the US make over $100,000 a year. So I say all that to say that it's not necessarily, it would not surprise me if he had multiple girls at his celebration. That's what I'm saying. And then the biggest thing of all, one of the girlfriends goes in for a hug with the dad, and he gives 2 love taps on the fanny. What is it with these Midwest guys? We saw it with JJ McCarthy's. I don't know if he's from the Midwest. I know he went to IMG Academy, but we saw his dad give the love tap. But it's just maybe it's a sports thing. I don't know. But where I'm from, the dads I know would not do that. And, not that I think it's terribly wrong or anything like that, but that's just there's a line there. But whatever, it is what it is. But I just thought it was funny. A lot of interesting. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Let me pause this because I think we got to play that. So here in the smaller video, we have what happened. And you have the friend that goes in, or maybe that's his brother. And then actually, maybe it's oh, she goes in for another peck there. Come on, dude. Sorry, guys. My computer's being whack. All right, here we go. I got it at the he gives the shoe. Man, what a Chad moment. But I get it. He's just trying. This is his one of the greatest moments of his life. And he's just trying to hear what is being said on the other side. That's all. Does Lucas Van Ness have 2 girlfriends? All right. Lucas Van Ness, or Packers draft Lucas, he already has 3 girlfriends. That is awesome, dude. Man, the NFL is such an entertainment machine. There's always just hilarious stuff. But the biggest thing would have to be the love tap here. Here we go. And then in some of the videos, if you go on YouTube and just type in Lucas Van Ness, there's videos where it's just on repeat, him doing the tap. Hilarious. All right, guys. So anyways, let's get to the actual draft and my thoughts on it. It's very straightforward. The Iowa Hawkeyes could not have performed better. In my opinion, the Iowa Hawkeyes over the past 5 years, 6 years, have had as much talent come through or developed at Iowa as any other point over the past 30 years, whether it be Hayden Fry, whether it be Kirk Ferentz. Now, granted, a lot of it's on defense, but if you have been on offense, I mean, you got Tristan Wirfs, TJ Hawkinson, Noah Fant. Now, you have Sam Laporta now, Tyler Linderbaum. A lot of top-end talent has come through Iowa. And this is just proof positive of that. This is just more evidence that when people say that, when people like myself and other fans say, if only Iowa had an average offense, if only they had this, they would be a top 10 team. It's true. Because everywhere else in their program, besides the quarterback position and the offensive coordinator, they are strong, if not elite. This is proof positive. Are they on the level of Ohio State or Alabama when it comes to draft picks? No, but they're close. They're closer than a lot of people are. For Lucas Van Ness, so that's a little bit frustrating. And my hope is that Kirk Ferentz in his final 5 years can finally see it all come together and have the best run he has had. And I think it's possible. I mean, at this point, as long as Phil Parker stays on the program and LeVar Woods, you with those two guys, you have two elite coaches at those two position groups. All you need is to figure out that third piece, which is the offense. And it's, again, nobody's asking for elite or they're just asking for average. Now, with Lucas Van Ness, I saw a lot of videos of people saying, well, Lucas, because the consensus grade on Lucas was first round. But if you look at the team grade, a lot of people gave the Packers a B minus for their selection. And the rationale behind that is that Lucas Van Ness, one of the rationales was that Lucas Van Ness was not a starter at Iowa. Now, the thing is, every fan of Iowa knows that that's not a big deal. AJ Epinesa wasn't a starter at Iowa until his junior season. The Iowa coaching staff doesn't really care about who starts the football. I mean, they care, but it's not the end-all be-all. What matters the most is snaps. And especially on the defensive line, if they can have an older guy who's still talented start, but give a younger guy more snaps over the course of the game, they'll do it. No problem. And so I think that is a totally irrelevant concern. It really is, because at the end of the day, Lucas Van Ness had some of the most snaps on the Iowa defense, top five. Definitely the most on the defensive line because he was the best player. So it's an irrelevant concern. I think Lucas Van Ness is going to be a special player. He has all the physical traits. He's 6'5". He's huge. And you know what's funny? I got to find this. I got to go back and find this. But so when Iowa played Michigan, you know what? I got to find this right now. So right now I'm looking to see if I can find this. I made reference to Lucas Van Ness being very similar to Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan. And I remember somebody commented, a Michigan fan, saying that was ridiculous. It's crazy to compare the two. Hutchinson is a first-round draft pick. And in the end, Lucas Van Ness went 13th. So I was not wrong. I really wish I could find it. I can't remember where it was at. Maybe it was in the video or the second time Iowa played Michigan and I did that. But anyways, bottom line is I don't want to spend too much time looking for that though. The bottom line is I think it's an excellent pick. And Van Ness, I fully expect him to be a longtime NFL guy. He has the mental makeup. He has the physical makeup. He has everything that you would want. The second guy to be drafted was Jack Campbell. And I told you guys on Facebook that there was a good chance Iowa was going to have at least two guys drafted in the first round, if not three. And I was almost spot on with that. I am not surprised in the least that Jack Campbell is taken in the first round. He is a near can't miss. And a lot of times these NFL teams, the strategies that they have for drafting, a lot of times they overthink it. And a lot of these NFL teams will primarily go off of potential, which, you could argue Lucas Van Ness was a potential pick. But I would say he also checked a lot of other boxes as well. But sometimes you just need to get good guys on your roster. Good teammates, good players, good characters, good guys. good leaders. Jack Campbell fits all of that. Plus, he's a damn good football player. He's 6'5", had an excellent combine, had excellent production in college. And so what I'm saying is sometimes you just need to draft the obvious person or a guy that may not end up being like, he may not hit or he may not have the highest ceiling in the world, but where he's at right now is pretty damn good. And he's a damn near can't miss guy. Sometimes you just got to go with that. And I honestly love how the Detroit Lions picked this past draft. They went for guys that were near can't misses. And because to me, if you are drafting a guy based off of potential and you miss, it's a pointless pick. It's all irrelevant whether he had potential or not. But if and so when you're drafting, you should be trying to have as many hits as possible, as to not have most of your picks be wastes. Because think about how much time, energy, and resources go in to scouting and drafting these football players. So to me, it's far more valuable to try and have more hits than misses. And to me, a hit is a guy who brings value to your football team, whether it be by being a leader, by being a starter, by being a good backup, or a combination of the three. And Jack Campbell has that. He will be a starter for the Detroit Lions for the foreseeable future. I think it's a great pick. The third guy to be drafted was Sam Laporta, early second round. I believe he was the second. Let's make sure of that. I believe he was the second tight end taken off the board. So he was considered the second, and a lot of places had him as the number one tight end. Dalton Kincaid was taken first. And I'm sure the Buffalo Bills liked Sam Laporta as well. They seem like a team that likes Iowa guys. So Sam Laporta, there was only one tight end taken in the first round. Sam Laporta was the second tight end to be drafted in this draft to the Detroit Lions. He still has to improve his blocking, but once he gets into a pro style offense that can actually get him the football, he's going to be just fine. And Sam Laporta, if I had to say what the Detroit Lions are getting, they're getting a competitor, they're getting a great teammate. All Iowa guys are great teammates. They're good guys. They're good guys. Now, that's not the end all be all, but he's still an athletic specimen. He finished in the top 85%, top 15% in his athleticism score. He had a 4.6 40. He finished in the top 6 in all tight end athletic categories. I was hoping that they were going to give a comp. My comp for Sam Laporta would not be TJ Hawkinson. I would say he's actually closer to now. I believe they ran similar 40s. Let's see what TJ Hawkinson ran real quick. 4.7. He ran a 4.7. TJ Hawkinson is also 6 foot, 6'5", 6'6". He's a big guy. Whereas Sam Laporta is 6'3". Okay. So I would say Sam Laporta is closer to Noah Fant as far as their actual game on the field. He's more of a receiving tight end, but he has played in a pro style offense by playing at Iowa. and he did block at Iowa. Okay, it's not like with Noah Fant where he was so bad at blocking to where Iowa needed to take him off the field. He still did block. He plays really hard. He's a competitor. He'll get in the lab. He'll get better. He'll improve. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll improve as a blocker once he gets to the NFL and continues developing his game. And once he gets into a pro style offense, with a team, with pros and pro offensive coordinator that can actually get him the football, he'll be just fine. The fourth guy to be drafted for the Hawkeyes was Riley Moss. It looks like he was taken in the 3rd round. And again, not surprising, guys. Riley Moss was a starter at Iowa for 3, almost 4 years. No, he was a starter at Iowa for 4, almost 5 years because he took that extra year, that COVID year, and played at Iowa. And he's going to the Denver Broncos. Now, do they see him more as a safety or do they see him as a legit corner? To me, he's a legit corner. His testing numbers showed that. I know he's a white guy from Iowa, but his athleticism is no joke. He's a legit athlete. And multiple reports, whether it be at the Senior Bowl, whether it be at the Combine, said that he has legit athleticism. So now, is he going to be a legit outside corner? Time will tell. I mean, regardless of his athleticism numbers, sometimes corners get to the NFL and they just don't have it because the NFL is the top 1% of the top 1% when it comes to athletes in the world. And sometimes they just don't have it. Now, Riley Moss has the size. He's 6'1". He's got the length. I think he has an excellent build. He's thick for a corner. He's, again, all the same thing. Good teammate, good guy. He's going to work on his craft. Wouldn't it be interesting if Riley Moss ends up of all the top DBs that Phil Parker has had? Wouldn't it be crazy if Riley Moss ended up having the most successful NFL career? For a second there, it looked like Michael Ojemudia was gonna take off, but he's kind of gone down a little bit. I'm not sure exactly what's happened to him. Josh Jackson, it did not work out. Desmond King has had a pretty good NFL career. He's been Desmond King, for all intents and purposes, has been an NFL starting cornerback, starting nickel. Michael Ojemudia. Who else is there? There's Dane Belton, there's Amani Hooker, and so far they're doing good. Geno Stone is fighting his way into the NFL. I really think he could have benefited from staying one more year at Iowa. So, I would not be surprised if Riley Moss ends up, in the last, let's say, 7 years of Iowa Hawkeye football, I would not be surprised if Riley Moss ends up having the best NFL career of the DBs that Phil Parker has produced. I mean, he still had 73 total tackles. Michael Ojemudia. Only had him playing in 2 games. Let's see if it has his stats on Wikipedia. So anyways, bottom line is, guys, a very successful, I got to get going here, very successful NFL draft for the Iowa Hawkeyes so far. I think the only guy who might get drafted remaining would be Kayvon Merriweather. I would not be surprised if he did get drafted. Looks like he played for 2 teams. He didn't really have. He played for Denver and Chicago, but it looks like he didn't really have. Where are the tackles at? Oh, there it is. Looks like he didn't have register really any sacks. But anyways, so Kayvon Merriweather still on the board. We'll see if he gets drafted. Either way, this has been a very successful draft for the Iowa Hawkeyes. 4 guys drafted in the first 3 rounds. Excellent draft. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Subscribe. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subs by the time the football season starts. Like, comment, share. You know the drill. And DBAP, don't be a pussy with all facts or feelings, because your feelings just don't matter. Love you guys. See you Hawks next time. Go Hawks. Bye.